Jump right in, whoever's ready.
Melanie, it looked like the offense found something in the fourth quarter, but the transition defense, I guess, was that the issue there? Just getting
No,
back on
the issue was rebounding and giving them more attempts, a lot more attempts to shoot the basketball. We shot better than them all night, but they get so many more possessions and attempts. It's really skewed, and then that's their strength is obviously rebounding. Our strength is shooting the ball, and they did their strength better than we did ours.
This is you're on a losing streak, but the schedule's also got difficult at
Yes.
the end of the year. Is there a common denominator in these losses, or is that it? Just the competition's gotten tougher.
Well, first of all, I appreciate you noticing the strength of schedule that we're dealing with right now. And we're going to deal with it the rest of the time, and that's part of being in the SEC. But no, I don't. I think that a lot of the common denominator is, figuring out who we can count on consistently on defense and who we can on offense. We're really struggling with, okay, our best defensive lineup is our worst offensive lineup, and vice versa. And that's why when I come in here, I always bring up hockey, and I don't think I've been to a Predators game yet, so I'm embarrassed to announce that. I'm looking for tickets because I'd like to take my son, so if anybody'd like to give me some great seats to get him in the action, that's a heavy hint. But I think that's it. I mean, it's like, okay, you got to play both ends of the floor. We've been doing everything to flow from one to the other, and we've become a very conservative team. I'm not a conservative person, so at some point we have to reflect the leadership, and we're conservative in turning it over 24 times, and we're going to continue to do that if we stay this conservative. I don't think we understand attacking and how to attack, and we continue to play to the other team and their attack, and then we try to fight back.
Are they not attacking within the offense,
Yeah,
or is it just not pushing it?
If we don't get the clean rebound to push, we're giving them second and third shots. And then when we get in transition, that we were scoring, and then we don't do a good job of understanding there's a difference. So, attack and transition is one thing, but then in half court, you got to move the ball side to side. We're all holding the ball and squeezing the air out. And we in practice yesterday, I mean, it was the best ball movement I've ever seen. We got the ball wherever we wanted to in the war zone, because if you move it side to side, then you can get it in, and we could go inside out, same with off the dribble or into cast. We didn't do any of that today. At one point, we were playing half-court defense with a one pass. That's exactly who we play against every night. And we've said that from the start. We can, we will, and we must be different. But we end up becoming a bad SEC team when we do that. We need to be us, and we don't need to look like the SEC. I've told kids recruiting that you can't play. Oh, well, they come visit us, and they're not being recruited by other SEC schools, and they really question whether they can play in the SEC. I said, no, you can't, but you can play for me. And that's tough for these kids to realize that. They get here and they think, well, I'm good enough to play in the SEC. You can't play like the other. No, you're not, or you've been recruited by those teams. How many of you have been recruited by Kentucky or by Tennessee? I'm not sure. Becca and Marquez were probably the only two that were even recruited by them.
So they're just falling into the mindset of whoever they're playing.
Yeah, it's definitely a lack of confidence as a team. And once we become a team, and it's really the focal point is on our cohesiveness and our communication, our execution, and our effort with accomplishment. Those three things we focus on every day. I call them the 3 E's. If you're focused on that, you can't focus on playing to the other team. But we need to make sure that we're consistent at who we are. That's what championships teams do. They know who they are, and they know how they win.
It's a big component of that, just tempo, just trying to find more tempo, especially when you're playing small.
Yeah, and that tempo is, early on we were a great defensive team and we lost ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to get back to that, where we get into up tempo, we get in transition and we get attacking by the just not being so fearful and afraid and going side to side and east to west, going more north to south. But that starts on the defensive end. So really, you look at us and go, God, we're struggling offensively. No, not really. We're really struggling defensively. In every possession, they're looking, again, we're looking for answers and solutions instead of being great at a very cohesive defense in February that we know is our strength.
Anything else, Coach?
And it all started when we beat Kentucky at Kentucky. And all of a sudden we became an offensive team. You know how many points we had at Kentucky? 71. I'm pretty sure. What did they have tonight? 71. This isn't an offensive team. How did we let them score 71 points?
Yeah.
Because all of a sudden we thought we were
Right.
something different. And you can't lose sight of who you are. So, back to work. Thank you.
Thank you.